The 10 most important novelists in literature. Number 10. Johann Wolfgang von Goethe. Born on August 28, 1749, in Frankfurt am Main, Germany, Johann Wolfgang von Goethe was a writer, poet, playwright, and scientist whose influence spans multiple fields of culture and knowledge. He is considered the greatest writer in the German language and a key figure in Romanticism. His most important work is Faust, a tragedy in 2 parts that narrates the pact of the scholar Faust with the devil Mephistopheles. The work explores profound themes such as the pursuit of knowledge, human desire, redemption, and the duality of good and evil. The Sorrows of Young Werther, 1774, is another significant work that had an enormous impact in its time, inspiring the Sturm und Drang movement and generating a cultural phenomenon around the protagonist. Goethe also made contributions in natural sciences, especially in color theory, and was an influential figure in politics and philosophy. His interest in art, nature, and universal culture is reflected in the diversity and depth of his work. He died on March 22, 1832, in Weimar, leaving a monumental legacy. Goethe is remembered not only for his literary genius but also for his contribution to humanism and his influence on Western culture. Number 9. James Joyce. Born on February 2, 1882, in Dublin, Ireland, James Augustine Aloysius Joyce was a writer and poet whose work revolutionized 20th century literature. Known for his innovative use of the stream of consciousness and experimental narrative techniques, Joyce explored the human mind and everyday life with unprecedented depth. His most famous work, Ulysses, 1922, is a monumental novel that follows the experiences of Leopold Bloom during a single day in Dublin, June 16, 1904. The novel reinterprets Homer's Odyssey in a modern context, using a variety of narrative styles and literary techniques, including stream of consciousness. Ulysses is considered one of the most important and influential works of modern literature, although it also generated controversy for its explicit and experimental content. Another significant work is A Portrait of the Artist as a Young Man, 1916, a semi-autobiographical novel that follows the intellectual and moral development of Stephen Dedalus, Joyce's alter ego, as he struggles with religion, culture, and his artistic identity. Finnegan's Wake, 1939, is his most experimental work, known for its complex language and multilingual wordplay. The novel challenges traditional narrative conventions and explores themes like the cycle of history and the nature of dreams. Joyce's style is known for its psychological depth, symbolism, and exploration of subjective reality. His influence on literature is immense, inspiring writers to experiment with new forms of expression. James Joyce died on January 13, 1941, in Zurich, Switzerland. His legacy endures as one of the pillars of modernist literature, and his work continues to be studied and admired for its innovation and narrative mastery. Number 8. Marcel Proust. Valentin Louis Georges Eugene Marcel Proust was born on July 10, 1871, in Auteuil, France. He is recognized for his monumental work, In Search of Lost Time, À la recherche du temps perdu, a series of 7 novels published between 1913 and 1927 that explore memory, time, and human experience. The work begins with Swan's Way and extends to Time Regained. Through a nameless narrator, often identified as Marcel, Proust delves into the memories of his life, analyzing the most minute details and the emotions associated with them. The famous Madeleine episode is a symbol of how a simple taste can trigger a cascade of memories. Proust's style is characterized by long and complex sentences, deep introspection, and meticulous attention to detail. His exploration of psychology and the subjective perception of time has influenced modern literature and philosophy. In addition to his main work, Proust wrote essays and literary criticisms, demonstrating his intellectual acumen and knowledge of French society and culture. Marcel Proust died on November 18, 1922, in Paris, due to pneumonia aggravated by his chronic asthma. His legacy is fundamental in world literature, and his exploration of memory and subjectivity continues to resonate with readers and writers. Number 7. Charles Dickens. Born on February 7, 1812, in Portsmouth, England, Charles John Huffam Dickens is one of the most beloved and recognized novelists of English literature. His works reflect incisive social criticism and a deep compassion for the disadvantaged and marginalized of Victorian society. Among his most famous novels are Oliver Twist, 1838, which addresses child exploitation and poverty, A Christmas Carol, 1843, a redemption story that has endured as a Christmas classic, David Copperfield, 1850, a semi-autobiographical novel that follows the personal growth of the protagonist, and Great Expectations, 1861, which explores themes of ambition, social class, and self-discovery. Dickens is known for his memorable and vivid characters, from the miserly Ebenezer Scrooge to the cunning Fagin. His ability to combine humor, pathos, and social criticism allowed him to address themes like injustice, corruption, and the inequalities of his time. In addition to novels, Dickens wrote short stories, articles, and was a prominent public speaker. His public readings of his works were very popular and contributed to his fame. Charles Dickens died on June 9, 1870, in Higham, Kent. His influence on literature is profound, and his works continue to be read, adapted, and appreciated for their humanity, captivating narrative, and commitment to social reform. Number 6. Fyodor Dostoevsky. Fyodor Mikhailovich Dostoevsky was born on November 11, 1821, in Moscow, Russia. He is one of the most important writers in Russian and world literature, known for his novels that explore human psychology, morality, and the complexities of free will. Among his masterpieces is Crime and Punishment, 1866, which follows Rodion Raskolnikov, an impoverished student who commits a murder and faces the psychological and ethical consequences of his action. The novel delves into themes like guilt, redemption, and the nature of good and evil. Another significant work is The Brothers Karamazov, 1880, a novel that addresses philosophical and theological questions through the story of three brothers and their corrupt father. The work explores themes like faith, reason, freedom, and moral responsibility. Dostoevsky also wrote The Idiot, 1869, and Demons, 1872, both novels reflecting his concerns about Russian society and the human condition. His style is characterized by intense dialogues, internal monologues, and deeply conflicted characters. Dostoevsky personally experienced financial difficulties and health problems, including epilepsy and years of exile in Siberia, experiences that influenced his writing. He died on February 9, 1881, in St. Petersburg. Dostoevsky's legacy is immense, and his exploration of human psychology has influenced modern literature, philosophy, and psychology. Number 5. Dante Alighieri. Durante di Alighiero degli Alighieri, known as Dante Alighieri, was born in 1265 in Florence, Italy. He is considered the father of the Italian language and one of the greatest poets in universal literature. His magnum opus, The Divine Comedy, written between 1308 and 1320, is an epic poem that describes the soul's journey through hell, purgatory, and paradise. The work is an allegory of human life and an exploration of themes like sin, redemption, love, and divine justice. Throughout his journey, Dante is guided by the Roman poet Virgil and later by Beatrice, his platonic love. The Divine Comedy is notable for its structure, language, and philosophical and theological depth. Dante wrote in the Tuscan dialect, laying the foundation for modern Italian and demonstrating that the vernacular language could be a medium for high-level literature. In addition to his main work, Dante wrote treatises on politics, philosophy, and linguistics, such as De Vulgari Eloquentia and Convivio. Exiled from Florence for political reasons, Dante spent much of his life wandering, which influenced his writings and worldview. He died on September 14, 1321, in Ravenna. Dante's impact on literature and culture is immeasurable, and The Divine Comedy continues to be studied and admired for its literary art and profound exploration of human existence. Number 4. Homer. Homer is the name attributed to the legendary Greek poet to whom the epic poems, the Iliad and the Odyssey, are assigned, two of the oldest and most fundamental works of Western literature. Although the details of his life are uncertain and subject to debate, it is believed that he may have lived around the 8th century BCE. The Iliad narrates the events of the siege of Troy during the war between the Greeks, Achaeans, and the Trojans, focusing on the figure of the hero Achilles and themes like wrath, honor, and fate. The Odyssey follows the adventures of Odysseus, Ulysses, on his long and arduous journey home after the fall of Troy, exploring themes like cunning, endurance, and the quest for home. These epics have influenced literature, art, and culture for millennia, establishing archetypes and narratives that continue to resonate today. Homer's poems are also valuable for their depiction of Greek mythology, customs, and society of the time. Homer's style is epic, using dactylic hexameter and language rich in formulas and epithets, suggesting an oral tradition in the composition of his works. Although Homer's historical existence remains uncertain, his legacy is undeniable. The works attributed to him have been foundational in classical education and continue to be objects of study and admiration. Number 3. Leo Tolstoy. Lev Nikolaevich Tolstoy was born on September 9, 1828, in Yasnaya Polyana, Russia. He is one of the most prominent writers in world literature, known for his extensive novels that explore human nature and the complexities of Russian society. War and Peace, 1869, is one of his emblematic works, an epic novel that combines fiction with historical and philosophical essays. Through a wide cast of characters, Tolstoy portrays Russian life during the Napoleonic Wars, exploring themes like free will, destiny, and the impact of historical events on individual lives. Anna Karenina, 1877, is another of his masterpieces, narrating the tragic story of an aristocratic woman seeking love and happiness outside social conventions, addressing themes like morality, passion, and social hypocrisy. Tolstoy also wrote short stories and essays, such as The Death of Ivan Ilyich and How Much Land Does a Man Need?, reflecting his ethical and spiritual concerns. In his later life, he experienced a moral and religious conversion, adopting a simple lifestyle and advocating pacifism, non-violence, and universal love, influencing figures like Mahatma Gandhi. He died on November 20, 1910, at Astapovo railway station after leaving his home in search of a more ascetic life. Tolstoy's legacy is vast, and his works continue to be read and studied for their psychological depth, realism, and exploration of universal issues. Number 2. Miguel de Cervantes Saavedra. Born on September 29, 1547, in Alcalá de Henares, Spain, Miguel de Cervantes Saavedra is considered the greatest figure in Spanish literature and one of the greatest writers in world literature. His masterpiece, Don Quixote, published in 2 parts in 1605 and 1615, is considered the first modern novel. The story follows Alonso Quixano, a hidalgo who, obsessed with chivalric novels, becomes the knight-errant Don Quixote, embarking on adventures alongside his squire Sancho Panza. Don Quixote is a work that combines humor, irony, and profound reflection on reality and illusion, madness and sanity, and the very nature of literature. The novel is rich in memorable characters and situations that have influenced culture and art worldwide. Cervantes also wrote Novelas Ejemplares, a collection of short stories that explore various themes and demonstrate his narrative versatility. His life was marked by adventures and difficulties, including his participation in the Battle of Lepanto, where he lost the use of his left hand, and years of captivity in Algiers after being captured by pirates. He died on April 22, 1616, in Madrid. Miguel de Cervantes is remembered as the Prince of Wits, and his legacy endures in the richness of his work and his impact on world literature. Number 1. William Shakespeare. William Shakespeare was born in April 1564 in Stratford-upon-Avon, England, and is widely considered the greatest writer in the English language and one of the most important playwrights in history. His work encompasses 39 plays, 154 sonnets, and other poems. Shakespeare's plays include tragedies like Hamlet, Macbeth, Othello, and King Lear, which explore ambition, betrayal, love, and the human condition with unprecedented psychological depth. He also wrote comedies like A Midsummer Night's Dream, Much Ado About Nothing, and The Merchant of Venice, which combine wit, humor, and social critique. His historical plays, such as Henry V and Richard III, offer perspectives on power, politics, and national identity. Shakespeare's sonnets are lyrical poems that address themes like love, time, beauty, and mortality, demonstrating his mastery of language and poetic form. Shakespeare's language has enriched English with countless words and expressions. His profound understanding of human nature and his ability to portray universal emotions and conflicts have made his works transcend time and culture. He died on April 23, 1616, in his hometown. William Shakespeare's legacy is unparalleled, and his works continue to be performed, studied, and celebrated worldwide, reflecting the eternity of his literary genius. Thank you for watching our video. Subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. Give it a like, comment your thoughts, and share this video with your friends and family.